I'm writing this because I still wake up at night convinced I hear branches bending outside my window. This happened 3 years ago, but it doesn't feel like the past. It feels like something unfinished, like the woods are patient and they know where I am. I went to Pine Ridge Reserve alone. That was intentional. I needed space. No phone service, no people, just a few days of hiking and clearing my head. I remember the ranger at the entrance hesitating when I signed the logbook. He asked how long I planned to stay. When I said 3 days, he just nodded and said, "Make sure you keep moving." At the time, I didn't ask what he meant. Day 1. The trail felt wrong almost immediately. Not dangerous, just empty. No birds. No insects. Even my footsteps sounded too loud, like the forest wasn't used to being disturbed. I wrote in my notebook around noon. No sound except me. Feels like walking through a held breath. That night, I set up my tent and tried to sleep early. Around 1 a.m., I woke up suddenly with the overwhelming feeling that someone was standing just outside the tent. I held my breath and listened. There was breathing. Slow. Steady. Close. I stayed completely still. After a while, the breathing stopped. I told myself it was an animal and forced myself back to sleep. In the morning, there were no tracks around my tent. Day 2. I packed up early and continued down the trail. After about 4 hours, I reached a familiar clearing, the exact one I'd camped in the night before. I remember standing there, confused, checking my map again and again. The trail markers were the same. I hadn't turned around. I hadn't looped. But there I was. That's when I noticed the footprints. They circled the area where my tent had been. Bare feet. Long toes. Too deep in the soil. And they were facing inward, toward where I had slept. I wrote, "Someone was here last night. I don't think they were walking." That night was worse. I heard footsteps around the tent. Slow. Heavy. Each step carefully placed. I could tell whoever, or whatever, it was knew exactly where I was. Then I heard my name. Softly. From the trees. It sounded exactly like my voice. I didn't respond. I didn't move. I don't know how long it went on, but eventually the voice stopped. I didn't sleep at all. Day 3. I tried to leave at first light. My compass spun wildly and then went still, pointing nowhere. The trail was gone. Not hidden, gone. In its place were dense trees, packed tighter than before. I started to notice something else. The trees looked closer together than they had yesterday. Their trunks angled inward slightly, like they were leaning. By afternoon, I was exhausted. That's when I heard the voice again. "Please, help me." It was me. Same tone. Same hesitation. Same breathing pattern. Against every instinct, I followed the sound. The deeper I went, the quieter everything became. The air felt thick, like walking underwater. Then I saw it. Something stood between the trees, tall, unmoving. I couldn't see its face, but I could feel it looking at me. The trees around it leaned more than the others, like they were drawn toward it. I ran. Branches tore at me. Roots twisted under my feet. The forest shifted. Paths closed. Trees appeared where there hadn't been any moments before. I don't remember leaving the woods. I just remember collapsing near the road, screaming until someone stopped. Search teams went back with me. They found my notebook near my original campsite. They said it was clean. No dirt. No damage. They said there were no footprints. But sometimes, when the wind blows just right, I swear I hear my own voice calling from far away. And when I walk through parks now, I always feel like the trees are leaning in, listening. This is copied directly from my phone notes. I didn't change anything. I'm afraid if I do, something will notice. We went camping to celebrate my brother's birthday. 4 of us. Deep woods. No service. Just tents, a fire, and quiet. Too quiet. 12:38 a.m. Woke up. Can't sleep. Force feels wrong. 12:41 a.m. Light in the trees. Looks like someone else's camp. No sound. I stared at it for a long time. It didn't flicker. It didn't move like fire should. It just hovered between the trunks, steady and patient. 12:46 a.m. Light moved. Slowly. Sideways. I thought about waking the others but stopped myself. I don't know why. It felt important to stay quiet. 12:52 a.m. More lights. For now. All same height. Same distance apart. I stepped out of the tent. The smell hit me immediately, like wet metal and rot. The forest felt crowded, like something had filled the space while we slept. That's when I saw them. Tall figures holding the lights. Too tall. Their limbs bent wrong, like they didn't understand joints. No faces. Just dark, smooth shapes where faces should be. One of them tilted its head. I felt it smile. 12:57 a.m. They're closer. Can hear movement. Not footsteps. Sliding. I ran. The forest changed instantly. Trees blurred together. Paths disappeared. I tripped and dropped my phone. When I picked it up, the screen reflected the lights behind me. Too close. I screamed. Suddenly, nothing. No lights. No figures. Silence so deep it hurt. I stumbled into where our campsite should have been. It was gone. No tents. No fire pit. No bags. No people. Just 4 glowing orbs arranged in a perfect circle. Search teams came later. They said there was no evidence anyone else had been there. No records of my brother. No photos. No messages. Like they were erased. But sometimes, late at night, my phone lights up for no reason. Just a soft glow. And I know somehow that the lights don't want me lost. They want me found. Sometimes the scariest part of a story isn't what happened. It's what didn't. No bodies. No answers. No proof that anyone was ever there at all. Just a gap where people used to exist. If this story unsettled you, that's normal. Because places like that don't need monsters that chase or scream. They just need patience. They wait for curiosity. For tired minds. For people who believe they're alone. And the worst part? If something can erase people without a trace, then the only thing standing between you and being forgotten is whether you choose to follow the light. If stories like this keep you awake at night, if you enjoy true horror that feels too real to ignore, then welcome to Dew of Dread. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay close. Because here we don't chase jump scares. We tell the stories that linger. New true horror drops regularly. And once you listen, you may never walk through the dark the same way again.